Hey, yo, what up guys? Octavian or Big O here. I haven't done one of these in quite a long time, and honestly, I only really ever did one, but it does feel like the right time to do so now the new year is upon us. I'm a little bit late to the party, to be fair. But firstly, I would like to say that I hope all of you had a super nice new year. I sure did, and I'll be looking forward to the one next year too. Before I get to the exciting stuff for this one, I do want to warn everyone that this is most definitely a development build that you're seeing in the background, with lots of things broken and frankly, quite a mess at the moment. First, we have the new leaning system. Leaning is one of those features that get requested in our Discord suggestion channel constantly, and along with sliding and other movement related things. That's one of the reasons why we implemented it for this update. The other ones are because leaning is cool and we like cool features, I suppose. Now, the specific implementation that we ended up going with might be a bit more interesting. I took a look at what our options were with making a new leaning system, and after checking out a few games, I noticed that there are a lot of super boring leaning setups. The ones I'm referring to specifically are the ones where there's barely any bounce going on anywhere, there's no location change for the camera, and so on. Avoiding boring looking systems was probably my main priority for this feature, and the way we went about it was by firstly making sure everything uses springs or has a lot of bounce to it. This was quite easy. It only took me making sure that I only used spring interpolations, and our animation setup allowed for additive transitions, the so-called wiggles. Another important part was retaining control over where the weapons went while leaning, on a per side basis, so no general amplitude values or anything of the sort. Basically, we wanted to make sure that we could change the location and rotation of the weapons both for the left side and also for the right side individually. We accomplish this by using vector curves. They make it super simple for us to define what happens to the weapons as they move from left to right, and they even allow for fancy looking setups, though I don't have any to show right here. In any case, that's a basic breakdown of the leaning system. It isn't the super hard system in and of itself, so maybe I went a bit overboard with the whole explanation, but I've been wanting to make these videos a little longer, and also to express my thoughts a little bit more. So I hope you guys are enjoying this. The next super cool feature is the aimed reloads. I feel like my brain was frozen in time when I saw Modern Warfare 2019's aimed reloads. They seemed like such a simple thing, yet so cool. That's why, ever since we started making a new animation system for the asset, a little more than a year ago, I've wanted to make them a thing. However, sometimes we must stay strong and wait. And wait we did. There wasn't time to make these, and when we did have time, our animations in Blender were completely messed up due to rig conversions. It was truly quite discouraging to see, an annoying situation. So time passed, and it seemed like we were only ever going to add these when we made new stuff, new weapons. Well, one day, a few days ago to be more precise, David moved a task on our Trello board. The task was aimed reloads. My hype was palpable, and a few hours later, boom, we had our first reloads. They aren't perfect by any means, as our animations in Blender remain messed up, but David managed to get some really nice looking reloads in, and even without all that. It feels amazing. It's really cool. I know this story may sound boring, perhaps even a little stupid to some of you, but to me this is one of those things that I really wanted to do, a so-called career highlight, if you will. I'm just joking about that part, but perhaps it isn't that impressive, but I'm overall really happy about this whole thing. Really happy about how it's turning out. Now, a fan favorite. And by fan favorite, I mean that I am fairly certain absolutely no one requested this. I'm just joking, some of you requested us to add back the lowering weapons when looking at walls feature that the asset used to have. And here it is. In fact, not only is it back, but it is now more customizable than ever, with some really nice offsets to modify the pose as much as you want, and even the ability to lower your gun by pressing the holster button directly. Of course, we kept the holstering animations there as well, we just changed them to happen when you hold the button for a bit instead of pressing. Reloading prompts, or as I personally like to call them, the blinky text that alerts you that Pew Pew has really run out of ammunition. These are almost a basic requirement for any modern shooter, so adding these was a no-brainer. I will say though that our user interface right now is not the greatest in the world, and that includes the specific prompts. There are a lot of things that we want to change about it, and we probably will update it at some point to look more like Modern Warfare 2019's interface or Battlefield 2042, something of the sort. The idea would be to provide you guys with a more modern, clean, sleek, and usable interface for your game projects, whether that be for prototyping or fully fledged games. However, it isn't yet time to make these changes. There are many important features ahead of us, ones that will impact lots of other things. Which reminds me that we also added ammunition pools. This one was heavily requested, no joke. I feel like I've seen this suggestion a bunch of times, both on our suggestions channel on Discord, and just hearing people talking about it. It seems to me like it might have been an oversight to not treat this as a core feature when we initially launched, as the delay might have hurt some projects. That said, I hope this update will thoroughly solve this issue for any of your projects. In any case, let's dive a little bit into the details behind the implementation. I'm still very inexperienced with making these videos, so I hope you don't mind me being a bit all over the place, by the way. Firstly, the base idea behind the system was to allow developers to easily add or remove ammunition from a total, a number of, let's say, bullets for now, that the character has on them at a given time. This might seem like a mouthful, but in practice it is quite basic. The character has a bunch of bullets, and every time you reload, it loses some of those bullets as they go into whatever weapon you just reloaded. That's the base concept. Quite a lot easier to explain that way, I suppose. Implementing this was straightforward. The issue came when deciding where those bullets should be subtracted from. Naturally, the character is the person that holds all these bullets, but we could have many different types of these bullets, so there needs to be a difference. So I came in, bim bam boom, made an enumeration that holds all of the ammunition types that we're going to want in the asset. This enumeration, by the way, is something you can totally modify super easily, add to or remove from as you please. Then I went through each weapon's information, specifically each magazine's information, and added a variable that tells us what type of bullets it holds. After that, it was a super simple matter of having a map of ammunition types to amount of each that the character holds, and subtracting/adding from it. I'm not sure how I did with explaining that, hopefully not too poorly. Either way, I really wanted to showcase some more features, but this video is already getting a little longer than I wanted it to be, so I'm gonna have to sign off here. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video and got hyped for more. I'll see you in the next one. Peace!